Our assignment was the film discussion of the two movies, Edward Scissorhands and Like Stars on Earth. We were Film Media Group number 5, and our group members consisted of Emily Bedard, Aubrey Tousley, Jenny Kim, and Samantha Sommerfeld. In regards to my reflection of this assignment, I felt that participating in this group activity influenced my perspective on disabilities. My original perspective did include a positive perspective on people with disabilities and how they contribute to society, but I did receive a better understanding of more than just my original view. Through watching and discussing these two movies in depth, I've become more knowledgeable on how disabilities affect a person in society, contributing to how they are treated and what they can do. Unfortunately, people are always going to try to conform people with disabilities to their views of how they should be in society, but things are seeming to get better and more members of society are learning that they can be accepted for how they are. I learned that people with disabilities are receiving more help that they need, like special accommodations and services, which we learned about from the environmental accessibility presentation and DRES presentation. People with disabilities can do anything they set their mind to, even if it takes a little extra help. Sean and Edward might need different accommodations that I do to perform activities, but they can still accomplish many things that I can. They use the skills they have to be successful in the areas that contain the things they are good at. A disability may be an obstacle, but it doesn't mean it has to stop a person with disabilities, as we saw through the panel of students with disabilities and Elizabeth's story from Community Choices. Responding and receiving feedback from group members helped me build awareness of views of disabilities of people of my age. There are many facts and attributes we didn't know of concerning society and media's views, but also about the disabilities, dyslexia, and Asperger's featured in these films. The movies helped me be aware of how a person's disability could be what makes them good at a particular task, or that relationships can be influenced because of someone's disability. Overall, this project opened up my views more than they were before and gave me knowledge to hopefully spread to others.
Participating in this group project influenced my perspective of disabilities in many ways. I was able to delve into the idea of disabilities and the many different aspects of the lives of people with disabilities. I received new information about the history of disabilities and how attitudes have changed among society about people with disabilities. It was interesting to see how different aspects such as education affect a person's life in relation to their disability. I think it was a captivating way to learn new information by watching 2 different movies and discussing different themes that were relevant in them. This also helped me make connections to No Pity and the information we learned from each group speaker, as well as the group panels we were able to learn from. Responding and receiving responses from group members allowed me to think about disabilities in a different way and develop more awareness about people with disabilities. I had a previous perspective about this topic that did not change much, as I feel I have always been relatively aware of the topic of disability because of the classes I have taken in the past. Yet each of my group members provided information through sources and their own thoughts that made me think differently about the importance of awareness for disabilities and the identities of people with disabilities. I truly enjoyed this group project in the class as a whole, while also being able to reflect on my thoughts and my group members' perspectives on the different themes that arose throughout this project.
Participating in this group as a member to discuss several aspects about disabilities helped me to learn how people in today's society perceive the idea of disability. Through discussing media's perspective on people with disabilities, analyzing how people with disabilities are depicted in 2 different kinds of movies, and studying specifically about 2 different kinds of disabilities through movies, I learned the importance of awareness of disability. Responding and receiving responses from group members did help me to think more about disability from different perspectives, as well as to learn more about it. Since I never had a chance to discuss disability in an in-depth discussion before, taking this class and having a discussion with group members did help me to understand various aspects of disability.
Hi everyone. I think that participation in this discussion group has influenced my perspective about disabilities because I got to see my group members' different opinions and viewpoints about each of our topics. I feel like I've gained more awareness about people with disabilities from my group members because their answers gave me different perspectives on each of our topics, and their research helped me gain more knowledge on certain topics as well. I also feel like by us responding and receiving discussion posts, we all have a better understanding of what we are truly learning in this class. It's always important to hear other people's opinions, especially those who have a different background than you. I also liked how some of our group members shared their own stories to make our topics a little more personal. And lastly, I think that this group project had an overall impact on me by making me realize that we all have our own unique perspectives about each of the topics that were discussed.